Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk about how holding on to fear does not keep us safer, particularly in regards to TMS, the mind-body syndrome, perceived danger, pain. So I'll get to that in a minute. Take a couple of breaths. And don't force them. Let your body relax first. Let your lungs fill up. Let your belly expand. This isn't chest breathing. It's just letting our body do what it does naturally. But maybe slowing it down and filling our breath, or filling our lungs a little bit more. But make sure you relax first, because if you're all bound up tight with tension, it's really hard to take a full breath. So, holding on to fear does not keep us safer. This came about through a question that was posed to me on Facebook. Somebody was saying, "Oh, I've got this going on and this going on, and what do I do here? And I'm really worried that this is going to happen or that's going to happen." And I won't get into the specifics. And my reply included the topic of the day. Holding on to fear does not keep you safer. And so I just wanted to touch on it. So let's kind of examine why holding on to fear does not keep us safer. Behind TMS is the brain's perception of danger. Originally, Sarno theorized the brain thought the emotions were too dangerous, so it distracted us from our emotions with something physical like pain. And I've kind of taken it a step or a notch higher, that pain in general, for any purpose, is based on the brain's opinion or perception of danger. Pain is designed to keep us safe and to get us to move away from or stop us from doing things that the brain thinks is dangerous. So if you have chronic pain, and you've done some analysis, and you've understood and learned about this perceived danger pain, this thing called TMS that Dr. Sarno discovered in the 70s and 80s, you generally understand that your body's okay and that there's no physical structural reason for the various pains or chronic symptoms you've got. And so if perceived danger is what is causing the pain to turn on, and the fear and the attention we give the symptoms is what keeps it persistent, how is holding on to fear keeping you safer? Wouldn't that just keep you in the danger zone, in the place where your brain is perceiving danger? Holding on to the what if something bad happens, or what if there's something really wrong, doesn't keep you safer. So I'm going to absolutely encourage you to set aside the fear. And I know that sounds impossible. I know that sounds dismissive, but when you truly understand that it's perceived danger, not actual danger, when it hurts but it's not harmful, when there's nothing dangerous going on, nothing harmful going on, evaluate what am I actually afraid of? And a lot of people say, "But I'm afraid of the pain." Right, but the pain is because your brain is afraid of something damaging or harmful going on. So wouldn't it make sense to make a conscious decision to do whatever you could to dial down the fear of the pain itself, because you know it's not harmful, so that the brain can feel safer and therefore turn off the pain in the first place? It's a little bit of a catch-22. It's like, well, I'm afraid of the pain, but the fear of the pain is keeping the pain going, and you're in a little bit of a pain loop. So in my opinion, the best way to stop that pain loop is by lowering the fear with accurate knowledge about what's going on. And once you can do that intellectually, consistently, and not freak out all the time, and not provide a lot of fear or attention to the pain, you'll see that the brain will eventually start to say, look at that. Dan's not very concerned or fearful of this anymore. I guess there's nothing dangerous going on. And we had an interesting conversation in the today's group coaching call where somebody said, years ago I had back pain, and at one point I just decided to quit worrying about it. And I went on and lived my life. And the pain ended up going away in a few months. And she didn't really understand why. I just wanted to point out that in that case, what she did was she made a conscious decision that said, I'm sick and tired of worrying about this back pain, so I'm just not going to give a crap. And she went back and focused on her life. And when the brain finally got the memo, it took a little while, but when the brain finally got the memo that she wasn't concerned with it, wasn't afraid of it, thus the fear came down, and therefore she was shifting her attention back to living life. So she took away fear and attention, which are the two fuel sources for chronic symptoms. The pain went away. So it's very instructive because we see this happening all the time, which is why so much of what I do is accurate knowledge, helping to dial down your fears so you're not as afraid or terrified of the pain or the symptoms. It's all about perceived danger. So holding on to fear, we think, if I'm afraid, then I'll be careful and I won't get into any more trouble. Holding on to anxiety or worry is going to keep me safer. Not in this case. It's really not. Holding on to a little bit of healthy fear when you're walking through a strange city in the middle of the night and you realize you're not in a great neighborhood, that fear might keep you safe. When you're walking through a jungle, you realize there might be some wild animals. Holding on to fear so you can be more attentive might be a good idea to keep you safer. But in the case of TMS, the mind-body syndrome, perceived danger pain, holding on to the fear is probably the least beneficial thing you can do. So if you're holding on to fear because you think that'll keep you safer, I'm going to encourage you to kind of look at it a different way and say holding on to the fear is holding on to the pain. So do what you can to get really, really clear that your pain is based on your brain's perception of danger, thus TMS, the mind-body syndrome, right? That's what's going on. And when you realize without the fear, you'll be able to shift your attention away, and without fear and attention, there's no fuel for it. The symptoms will eventually burn themselves out. The brain gets bored. Hey, they're not concerned. They're not afraid. They're not paying attention to it. Guess we can turn it off. Hope that makes sense. So, love you guys and gals. I will see you in the morning. Bye.